These are just things that you can do right now to make a difference to your life today and this week, and start improving your mental health in this moment. We are really struggling with a mental health crisis, and I'm not a mental health professional, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I'm just sharing what worked for me when I was clinically depressed. I was suicidal. In this video, I want to go through a few things that helped me when I was stuck both physically and mentally, and I was in a really dark place. And these things helped me to become happier when I couldn't change my circumstances or external situation. And I hope that you can take away a few things that can help you too. This is not everything I did, but this I feel like is the main things that I did that really made a difference to me becoming happier when I couldn't change anything in my external world or my circumstances. The first thing was to accept the situation, because there's nothing worse than being stuck in a situation or a circumstance when all you are doing is just wishing things were different, because your reality is not how you imagine it to be. So when I was stuck and I was really depressed and suicidal, I was wishing my life was back to how it used to be, back to when I had a healthy body, a healthy mind, full of energy, and I could go out and do everything I wanted to do. But that was not what my situation was. And I had to accept that's just not the way things were, because thinking that way was just making me more miserable. And if you constantly are wishing that things were different in your life than they are, you are never going to find happiness right now. So the best thing that you can do is just to accept it. Accept that things are the way they are. Change your attitude towards it. Know that things might change in the future, but wishing things were different right now is not helping at all. Second thing that really helped me, I think more than anything else, was gratitude. Really diving deep into a daily gratitude practice and really feeling that gratitude so deep to your core. Really dig deep and find every single thing that you are grateful for. Feel the immense joy that you can get from the things that are good in your life. Feel it so strongly that it takes over your emotions, and it can be hard. When you are stuck in a difficult place, it can be really hard to find anything that you can be grateful for. So you have to dig deep, but we can always find things that we can be grateful for. My situation was I had been in hospital. I ended up having a lot of surgeries, and I ended up in extreme pain. And the subsequent injuries left me completely bedridden. There was nothing that I could do. And at first I was wishing that things were different. I was wishing that none of that had happened and I could just go back to my old life, and I was just miserable. I had to accept where my life was at that moment, and there was nothing I could do to change it. And maybe in the future things could change, but for right now I just had to accept this is what is happening. There was a very big chance that I would never get better, and that is the one thing that made me really not want to carry on. But as you can see, I'm no longer stuck in bed. I'm still getting there. I've improved a lot, and I think that is mainly down to my positive mindset and pushing myself and believing that things can get better, and gratitude, having gratitude, finding things to be grateful for even in the most dire of circumstances can be a miracle for making you feel happier. It can really make a huge difference. So I had to dig really deep, and I had to find the little things that I could feel grateful for. The bed that I was laying in, I had a roof over my head. I had electricity, I could watch YouTube, I had access to the internet, I had access to books and information and learning, food to eat every day, clean water to drink every day, a nice home to live in, people that loved me. So the third step is, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on all the bad things that are happening in your life? All the things that you can't change, the things that you wish were different, everything bad that you are going through? Because if you're focusing on that, that's just going to make you even more miserable than the situation, because it's not what you go through in life, it's how you deal with it and how you think about it that affects your happiness level. So choose to focus on everything that's positive in your life and everything you are grateful for. I know you can find things to be grateful for, because we all can. The fourth thing that helped me was having hope, and having that hope that things can change in the future. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know how it would transpire, I didn't know how things would ever change. I was told by the medical team I was most likely going to remain bedbound for the rest of my life, and I was in my early 30s. And to hear that, you just give up. You think, what is the point? I can't live my whole life being stuck in bed. And I couldn't even get around like in a wheelchair because I couldn't sit down, so I couldn't do anything, and I could not live the next 60 or 70 years in one bed in one room for the rest of my life, not seeing anybody and not doing anything, not being able to accomplish anything. It was just unimaginable. Like, there was zero quality of life, there was no hope for the future. I was just going to be stuck in my bed forever. Once I started to have hope that things could get better, and I started really honing in on that hope and believing that I wasn't going to be stuck like this forever. There was just no way. I was not accepting it, that this was going to be my life forever. Even if there was like a slither of hope, I held on to that hope, and it grew and it grew and it grew. So start with like 1% hope that things can change, and let that build and let that grow. And that goes into the next point, which is finding evidence of everyday miracles. So I would hear stories all the time of people improving their lives out of nowhere, people being diagnosed with cancer and then having a spontaneous remission. And there are so many stories of people that used to be at rock bottom and then they just rose to success. There's so many rags to riches stories. There are so many stories of people that have turned their lives around, and people that have got through the most dire circumstances. Miracles happen all the time. So just choose to believe that your life can get better, and this will not last forever. Even if it does last a while, even if you have been stuck for a long time, things can change and things can evolve. And if you just choose to believe in that miracles happen, things can change and things can turn around. And it might be instant, it might take years, but it can. Things can absolutely change, and there is no reason for you not to believe that. And then the sixth thing that helped me to become more happier in my dark place was having that belief. So believing that things can improve. And when you have the belief that things can change, it's all going to work together to help you find happiness right now. So the things you can do right now is accept what is, accept you can't change it for now. Really lean into gratitude and practicing gratitude really deeply, like feel it with every fibre of your being. Focus on everything positive in your life and do not focus on anything that is negative that you cannot change. There is no point in wallowing, in wishing things were different when they're not. you have to just accept that this is your life for now. Choose to focus on the positive things that you can find, and find more and more and more positive things that you can bring into your life. Find small moments of joy. So find a good book to read, find a good podcast to listen to, find a good online course to take, expand your knowledge, find a good Netflix show to watch, enjoy a nice cup of tea, enjoy some nice food. You can find joy in the smallest of things, and you have to really soak that up and really live in the moment and find joy in the smallest things and focus on that more than anything else. Just focus on all the positives, and you'll start to see that your brain naturally starts focusing more on the positive things than it does on the negative things, and your life will slowly start to improve bit by bit as your brain becomes more positively inclined. There are a few more things, but I will go into those in another video. They happen a bit more down the line. These are just things that you can do right now to make a difference to your life today and this week, and start improving your mental health in this moment. And over the long term, there are more things that you can do that I will get into. And yeah, I hope that you find some value in this video, and I really want to help people just find more joy, find more happiness. We are really struggling with a mental health crisis, and I'm not a mental health professional, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I'm just sharing what worked for me when I was clinically depressed, suicidal every single day. For years I wanted to take my life, so I had to literally cling on by my fingernails every single minute of every day, because I thought I was going to live bedridden in severe pain for the rest of my life, for the next 60 or 70 years, and it was just unbearable to me. So I started doing these things, and I started practicing what I've just gone through in this video. I can't tell you how much that it helped me. It really pulled me through. I pulled myself through it. I pulled myself through suicidal depression and anxiety, and I'm not on any medication, and I feel happy. I was even happy when I was completely bedridden and in agony every single day. And you think, you must be lying to yourself. Like, how can you be happy in that circumstance? But I was, and it was all in my mindset. Your mindset can make a huge difference to your happiness. It's not the situation you're in, it's your mindset and how you think about your situation, and what you do with your time, and what you do with your energy, what you do with your thoughts. Let me know if you practice any of these tips and if they help you. I really hope that I can help just one person. I would love to hear if I've helped anybody, because that's why I'm doing this. I hope your life starts getting better. Sending lots of love. I'll see you in the next video.